Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome to episode number 229 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. So I have been on a journey to reduce stress for what it feels like my entire life. And back in high school, I was up late studying, playing field hockey, lacrosse, juggling clarinet, student council, and still trying to do everything well. And one night after dinner, I remember asking my mom, "Does this get easier?" And she replied, "No, it doesn't." And that moment stuck with me. And maybe you're listening to this today because you've wondered the same thing. When life feels overwhelming and out of our control, we want to know how to manage it and how to feel in control again. And I knew I couldn't control my workload. The desire to do it all wasn't going away. So how do we manage the normal stress of life, especially if, as my mom said, it never really stops? We start by asking different questions like, what can I change? What is within my control? How do I deal with the tiredness, the constant doing, and the creeping burnout? And the answers are simple, but only once you truly understand how hard life can be. As an executive coach who also trains corporate leaders, I've seen that stress management is one of the top concerns, not just for leaders, but for their teams too. And when people ask about managing time and energy, what they're really asking about is stress. The stress of not finishing what you need to, the stress of feeling low, tired, or disengaged. Stress is part of life, but chronic stress, when those peak levels stay for too long, starts to wear on our immune system. It wears on our relationships and how we show up. We become snappier, we are more irritable, and not our best selves. And we don't want to be the people who pressure others or push too hard. But when we're running on empty, it feels like we have no other option. And chronic stress leads to burnout, to emotional and physical exhaustion as well. And if we're not careful, we pass these patterns on. We pass them on to our coworkers, our teams, even our kids. And there's physiological stress, which comes from illness or injury. And then there's psychological stress, how we think and how we feel about what's happening. And the two are often connected. They're intertwined, and they create this pattern of living that feels hard to rewire. But it can be done. I've walked this path myself, from burnout to healing. I've supported my clients through it too, and I've even applied these tools to help my kids when anxiety first shows up, because it shows up at an early age and often it happens when you least expect it. So these practices work when used consistently and with intention. So today I'm sharing these 3 powerful skills to help you reduce stress. The first skill is choosing powerfully. When you say, "I am choosing this," something shifts. You reclaim agency. So much of our stress comes from resistance. Resisting how hard something is, how someone is acting, or what's already happened. But here's the thing. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means saying, "Yes, this is happening, and here's what I choose to do now." If you can do something about it, great. Let's go do it. And if you can't, then worrying won't help. And that simple mindset shift moves you from powerlessness to power, from resistance to presence. The second skill is disaggregation. This one's big. Break things down. Stress often comes from overwhelm, when everything feels too big, too much, or unclear. When we don't know what to do, our brains spiral. But when we take the time to break things down into smaller, doable parts, we move from reactivity to proactivity. You can ask yourself, what's one next step I can take? Or what's the first 10% of this task? Sometimes people say, well, like how small? Small enough that you feel it's doable. And often if we can break it down to 10%, and then maybe we break it down another 10%, it can be as simple as get up, open your eyes, walk from here to here, turn something off, push this button, close this door, right? A simple breakdown can look that small, or it can be bigger. Map the options, create a strategy, reach out to a person. All of those things count. And when we disaggregate, the impossible becomes possible. And we go from, I can't do this, to, here's what I'm doing next. And you can hear that. The energy shifts, and so does our effectiveness. The third skill is learning agility. Learning agility is the ability to grow your skill set in real time. And when we get better at something, stress decreases. Why? Because we start seeing ourselves as capable. We switch from, I can't handle this, to, I can figure this out. We go from panic to curiosity, from taking things personally to treating them like a challenge to solve. And that mental shift is subtle, but it is very powerful. So today you can try practicing these 3 skills. Number 1, choose powerfully. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Number 2, break things down. Make it smaller. Make it more manageable. And number 3, stay curious and stay agile and ask yourself, what do I need to learn to handle this better? And you can ask yourself this, why am I choosing this short-term stress over the long-term pain that might come if I don't address this? Or how can I make this feel easier? And what do I need to learn next? Ultimately, stress reduction matters because it's about increasing your capacity to handle life's demands, not eliminating all of life's demands. But if you could ride the waves of life instead of fearing them, how would that feel? What if you actually felt ready when the next wave came? And that's what's possible. And I've had moments of crisis where the first thought that came to mind was, this is what I trained for. It didn't mean it wasn't hard, but I had tools, and that made all of the difference. If you want to go deeper into this work, this is exactly what we do inside the Spiritual Achiever Coaching Program. We'll work on these and many other strategies, from embodiment to energy leadership, so you can live with much more peace, purpose, and power. And if you're ready to become a spiritual achiever, I invite you to watch the free training, which is called Stand Out and Lead. You can go to mayamson.com/229 in the episode show notes for the link, and you'll learn the high performance strategies that are also spiritual strategies that will help you create your next chapter. And you can then apply to join the program at mayamson.com/contact. It's risk-free. You can start seeing results in your first month, or you get your money back. So let's do this together. That's it for this week, my friends. I hope you have an amazing one, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.